extra things that I really don't need to say. So I'm just gonna start, and please bear with me. So so basically, I wake up on this table, the surgical table. I can't move my body. It physically feels like there's like a heavy blanket over me, like those weighted blankets, and I can't move. But I'm very aware of my surroundings. I'm able to move my eyeballs around, like I'm able to move around, look around the room, and I see this metal object right above me, like to my right, and on it I can see the reflection of this thing that's walking behind me, and this thing is speaking to me in a female voice, speaking English, by the way. And I noticed the way she was speaking, she was very intelligent, and I hinted a small accent, but other than that, like her English was perfect. And she sounded very friendly. This thing, you guys, when I saw the reflection, or what I could see of the reflection, she had green skin, so as soon as I saw that, I started to freak out. But obviously, of course, I couldn't move my body, so I was just like freaking out in my head. And I remember hearing this voice in me, or just something in me, I believe it was the Holy Spirit, just assuring me that this thing was nothing, like I had nothing to be afraid of. It was just like literally speaking down upon this thing, like, it's okay, that thing's like half this, half that, that's nothing to be scared of, you're fine, don't be scared. And like, I, for some reason, like I felt like this thing was able to read my mind, even though she knew I was freaking out. Like, it didn't, like, I don't know how to put it, like it didn't affect her in any way. She didn't care, you know what I mean? She didn't care. And right above me, there was this satellite looking light bulb thing, and it had a needle coming through it. And I knew that this needle was going to be put through my eye, and I knew it wasn't going to kill me, but it was going to be very painful. So this process that was about to be done to me, I knew it was being done to people around me. And when they told me this story, I remember just, thinking how painful they described it to be. So I was like freaking out because she turned on the machine. I knew this thing was, the needle was gonna go through my eye. It was coming closer and closer. And like, then again, the only thing I can do was like think. So I started praying to God in my head, and I started singing this song, and I just kept assuring myself that this was gonna be over in seconds, even though it was gonna be super painful. Like, I kept telling myself I'm just gonna sing through it, uh, and just hang in there, because I knew it was gonna be done in a jiffy. But yeah, so I started singing a gospel song, a Jeremy Camp song to be exact. It was called, I believe the song I was singing was called My Defender by Jeremy Camp. And when the needle almost came in contact with my eye, she stopped the machine, and she began to roll my stretcher out of the room, out of like the operating room, whatever it was. And at one point, I remember she pushed the stretcher so it could be, so it could roll on its own for a second. And when that happened, I remember somebody going up to her because, since she pushed it, it was rolling on its own. So she wasn't really like holding on to it. So somebody came up to her and was like, you know what, you can't do that. You have to guard that thing. So I remember that. I feel like that's an important detail. But yeah, and then the scene changes, and I'm in the same building, but I'm cautious, conscious, yeah, and I'm able to move around, and I see this alien-looking woman thing at the table, and I remember looking at her and just looking away because it was very freaky looking, and I remember seeing a human woman sitting at the end of the table, and I chose to sit next to that human woman. I didn't want to sit in front of that alien thing, so this thing was very serious, like, how doctors are very smart but serious, like that's how this thing was. But basically, like, as soon as I sat down, she was telling me that I failed the test, and I was just like, what do you mean I failed the test? And basically, somewhere in the dream, I don't remember exactly where, there was this test that was being done where I had to hold like an object with my hand, and I had to like grab onto it with a certain strength or whatever. I don't know exactly what I had to do, but she was telling me that I couldn't do it, and she wanted me to try it again because I kept questioning her, like, what do you mean I failed? Let me try it again. Oh my gosh. But that's how I was. And then she got the object again. She gave it to me, and she was showing me. She was like, okay, I want you to hold it like this. And then she grabbed my arm. She was showing me the force that she wanted me to use, and she squeezed my hand so hard, you guys. Literally, like, it was so hard. I feel like my soul left my body when she grabbed it, and it just came back in as soon as she let go. Like it hurt so bad. Like she was strong, but she didn't have the intention of, squeezing my hand that hard. But she was just showing me, like, proving a point. Like, I want you to hold it like as best you can. And so I tried it again, and when I tried it again, she was like, "Yeah, you can't do it." And I was just like, "Okay, okay." So yeah, so she told me I failed, and I ended up just like walking out the building, looking at my hand, and I noticed that I had like an extra finger. Uh, it was like I had like an extra finger attached to like either my middle finger or my ring finger, but I believe like it was webbed also. So it was like an extra finger, but it was like webbed at the same time. And I remember looking down, and as I walked out of the building, I just remember thinking to myself, like, I'm grateful that my deformity saved me. You know what I mean? And I also remember thinking to myself, like, they do all this to let this little thing stop them from doing what they want to do. You know what I mean? Like, if they wanted to, this is what I was thinking in my dream. I was just like, if they wanted to, they could have cut my extra finger off. But I was very grateful for that. And yeah, I just remember, like, when I walked out the building turned out to be where I work right now. But obviously it wasn't where I work in the inside, but the outside, it was my job. And it turned out I was just walking home after that, or heading home. But yeah, that was my dream, and I'm aware that aliens are not, just random aliens. Like, I do believe they are demons, and I honestly believe, you guys, they're coming down here soon. And in my dream, I just want to point this out. In my dream, these things, they were normal. You know what I mean? I don't mean normal like, normal people, but I mean normal like it was a normal thing for them to be around. And I liken it to wearing the mask. So what I mean by that is, when coronavirus started, it was kind of weird, believe it or not. I know I'm not the only one who felt this, but when you saw those people here and there wearing masks when this all started, like, did you guys think that they looked silly? I kind of thought they looked silly. Like, I was thinking over here, like, oh my gosh, they're so paranoid. They look silly with the mask on. Like, nothing's gonna hurt them. But again, this is when all this started. And now it's like the new normal. You know what I mean? So it's like, even though wearing the mask seemed silly at first, and it was like different, and now it's normal. It's something we had to get used to really fast, and that's what I like in those alien things too. Like, one day, of course, it's gonna be weird and stuff, seeing these things. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, what are these things? They're freaking us out. But it's something they're gonna have to get used to really fast, and it's gonna be like a new normal. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, and I hope everybody's doing okay. And thank you for listening. Okay, have a great day. Bye.